Live at NAMM's Believe in Music Week, hosted from the Rattle, London. Brought to you by the Music Hackspace and the MIDI Association. This is the MIDI Innovation Awards 2021.
Good afternoon.
And it's 7:01 a.m. in Australia.
Good day.
Now, if you are watching on Facebook, give us a comment, let us know where you're watching from. And if you want to win something awesome, here's what you need to do. Share the live video right now. If you're watching on Facebook now, give that video a share. And what we'll do at the end of the show is pick some of you lucky sharers to win some awesome prizes at the end of the show.
Over the next 2 hours, we're celebrating some of the most incredible innovation. You'll see their pitches, some performances from some amazing artists who use MIDI instruments, and also one from me. And at the end, you'll see the top three as decided by our judges, which will be awarded prizes worth over $20,000.
$20,000?
$20,000! That's
Whoa.
a lot of dollars.
It's a lot of money. That'll be announced at the end of the show. But first up, we are celebrating MIDI. And let's be honest, MIDI has had quite the history. Let's kick off with a little recap of the MIDI journey so far. Let's take a look at this.
MIDI, Musical Instrument Digital Interface, is a global music technology standard that connects digital musical instruments, computers, and mobile devices with the world of the arts. MIDI is used every day by musicians, DJs, producers, film scorers, hobbyists, educators, and artists to create, perform, learn, and share musical and artistic works. All of the projects that we will see tonight were created using the MIDI 1.0 protocol that started a musical revolution back in 1983. And now, with the recent introduction of MIDI 2.0, music and the arts are poised for a new and exciting generation of innovations, products, and creative works inspired by MIDI 2.0's vastly expanded capabilities and smoother workflow. The MIDI Innovation Awards is a celebration of the community of makers. By connecting MIDI-based companies, individuals, and artists with their audiences in the music industry, the awards provide a worldwide launchpad to showcase the latest innovations.
All those years ago. There's some amazing products that have been built with MIDI. So let's hear now from Jeff Rona, the co-founder and the first president of the MIDI Manufacturers Association in 1983, and see some more examples of MIDI products.
My name is Jeff Rona. I'm a founder of the MIDI Association, and I'm on the board of advisors of the Bob Moog Foundation. The history of MIDI has always been about innovation and a maverick attitude towards thinking about what can happen if you bring the best of technology into the world of music and audio production. MIDI began as a small group of passionate people wanting to change things and take the newest technology and put it at the service of the most creative people out there. Bob Moog was very similar in his own philosophy of bringing new tools and innovation into music. And he was an important part of getting MIDI off the ground, along with everybody else from so many companies and countries and backgrounds. So here's to continued innovation and new ideas, and it's so great to be able to honor people whose thinking brings us further and further along in the path towards absolute brilliance in making music and audio great. Enjoy.
Thank you, Jeff. Now we have 10 incredible finalists from all across the globe joining us live tonight. Fingers crossed, with a bit of help from technology, we should see those 10 finalists. They are everywhere from Wales and London here in the UK to America, India, Europe, and everywhere in between. Fingers crossed this works, folks. We are live right now. It is technology and it's 2021. Anything can happen. We are going to hopefully give a little wave to our finalists joining us via the power of Zoom. Tim, fingers crossed, give us a wave, finalists.
Give us a wave. There they are. It worked. It worked.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe that worked.
Fantastic.
Thank you, guys. We'll be chatting to you each individually very, very shortly. Now, these finalists have been shortlisted from all of the entries to show the world their creations to you tonight. Now, you, the audience, can also get involved and you can vote for your favourite. Now, we're not allowed to vote, Tim. We have seen them. They're all amazing. And if you'd like to vote for your favourite, you can see on screen here, just go to musichackspace.org/MIA 2021. That's musichackspace.org/MIA 2021.
Great. So throughout the evening, we also have some incredible performances exclusively for us from some of the planet's most innovative artists, including Chagall, SK Shlomo, Shawn Wasabi, and Dan Tepfer.
And we've seen some rehearsals. These performances are amazing. We've also assembled a panel of industry experts. We've got 6 judges who are masters of their arts, again, all around the world, joining us via Zoom as well. Can we give a little wave and say hello to our judges? Give us a wave, judges, and hopefully we'll be able to say hello to you via the power of Zoom, Facebook Live, and YouTube, all coming together to give us a little hello. Hello, judges, give us a wave.
Hello,
there
judges.
They are. Hello, judges.
Hello.
Oh my goodness me, look at that.
Fantastic.
They can hear us. We'll be chatting to all of you very, very shortly as well. So don't go away.
Don't go away. So our lineup includes music producers, artists, sound designers, innovators, lecturers, TED talkers, and company presidents. Between them, they've sold hundreds of thousands of books and racked up millions of YouTube hits.
Yeah, so it's safe to say they know their stuff, and we'll be chatting to each of them as the event progresses. Now we're going to kick things off with a little chat with our head judge, Dr. Kate Stone, who joins us live from Los Angeles. Technology permitting, Kate, hopefully you can hear us. We're going to make it so that we can hear you. We'd love to say hello to you, Kate. Are you there, broadcasting to Los Angeles? Can you hear us, Kate?
I can hear you from an Airstream in LA. I can hear you.
Rock and roll, people, rock and roll.
Oh my God, wow, that's great. So Kate, you're a scientist and you've been involved in the music technology world for years, and we know you're a big fan of innovation. So what are you looking forward to tonight?
I'm looking forward to seeing, I guess, a little bit how people's minds work, to how they can use their minds to create experiences that can allow different people to have an input musically and to make things happen. So I want to see how people, put their mind to use to allow other people to express themselves in ways they couldn't before.
Well, we are just as excited as you are, and we can't wait to get started. So should we do it, Tim?
Let's do it. Let's
meet
do it.
Our first finalist as we head off to Mexico City, where Martin Rivera is going to present to us Symphony of the Human Body. We're going to have a look at this very shortly. He is finalist number 1. It's a pretty cool thing that he's done, and you need to see it to believe it. We're going to take a look in just a moment. It is Symphony of the Human Body from Martin Rivera. Are we ready, control room, to see that entry? Let's take a look.
Hello, my name is Martin Rivera. I am a musician and developer from Mexico City, and my focus is on music technology. My submission to the MIDI Innovation Awards is the interactive installation Symphony of the Human Body. The objective is to teach young people about the systems that make up the body by using music. So each organ system corresponds to an instrument ensemble in an orchestra. Our challenge was to engage with the audience using music instruments, a coherent soundtrack, and generative animations in a custom LED screen. The audience uses 10 different MIDI controllers, keyboards, drum pads, MIDI guitars, and so on. So when you play one, a music sequence starts, and the notes you play quantize to the tonality of the piece. In front of you, a representative organ of a specific bodily system takes form. As you perform with each controller, the music layers into a song, and the colors and movements of the animations increase in complexity. This diagram shows the parts and relationships in the system. An Ableton Live session manages the input from the MIDI controllers. It handles audio and filters MIDI messages in order to relay them to a custom app developed in processing using the MIDI bus library and Loop MIDI for back and forward communication. The processing app gets the node messages to activate animations and process continuous control values to increase the dynamism according to the number of animations activated. It also sends control messages to initialize and manage the session transport. As a fun Easter egg, one of the test patterns implemented is a punk game, so you can control the paddles with the modulation wheels of the keyboards. That is my project in a nutshell. Thank you very much for your consideration for the MIDI Innovation Awards.
Fantastic, Martin, thank you. Your installation, I think it shows how much MIDI has transcended its original purpose, which was the control of musical instruments, to become a multimedia protocol. And what you've done, I think, transcends the original dream of MIDI, so bravo. Kate, I wonder if there's any aspect of Martin's installation that you'd like to hear about.
It's kind of cool.
That's tight. That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
Sorry, you're asking me.
Yeah, sorry, Kate.
Oh no, I wasn't. I was literally.
No.
I'm going to probably do some soldering while we have to sit here for 2 hours.
Kate, what we're going to do, we'll just ask whoever that is to mute their microphone, because as much as we'd love to hear about soldering for 2 hours, whoever that was. Kate, we are with you, by the way, Kate, so you are absolutely right to look just as confused as we are as to that conversation about soldering. So Kate, sorry, Tim was asking you what your thoughts were on Martin's video that we just saw.
Yeah, or is there anything you'd like to ask Martin about what you just saw?
So yeah, I really love the video, and I'd like to ask Martin, what do you feel your installation? So what meaning do you feel your installation brings to people who experience it? Because I know I create a lot of installations, and I love to think about the experience and the feelings that people will use it. And I wondered, when you were designing it, what meaning did you feel you wanted it to bring to people?
It's a great question.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Kate. And I just want to say that I feel really happy and really honored to be among these amazing innovators and creators. I guess that the main purpose of this work was to approach young people, young audiences, childs, and have a moment to share with them a little bit of amazement, and to use that amazement to convey a little bit of information, a little in a didactic way, to use music, to use these interactions, to use the visual aspect of it, to make it fun for them, to teach something about science, about biology, about the body in this case, but to make it fun for them, so they feel that learning is fun, and it should be.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Martin. A great question from head judge Kate and Martin. Well answered. All the best for tonight, mate. We'll find out the results later in the show.
Great. So let's catch up now with another of our esteemed judging panel, Shawn Wasabi, our YouTube megastar and the king of controllers. Shawn, we know you love pushing boundaries as an artist and producer, and this is the perfect event for you to judge, surely.
Yeah, thank you for having me on here. I'm super excited. I'm Shawn Wasabi. I press buttons on the Atari 64. I do a lot of cool things in Ableton. Dude, I watch all the videos from like all these like really amazing engineers, like innovators, and they're all super talented. And it's giving me a hard time just to like nail it down to like what I really liked and what was my favorite and like what I didn't like. But yeah, I guess we're all gonna find that out in the next couple of hours. Wait, did you ask me a question? My bad.
Shawn, I feel that we could talk to you all night. But what we'll do for now, let's look at our next finalist, and then we'll get your comments after that, because I think you might have one or two things to say to him, because I think you'll be very impressed. We are going to go on to our next finalist now as we go to France. We are going to say hello to Damien Boulaire. I hope I said that right, Damien, who's going to bring us his entry, Enhancia, the Neova MIDI ring controller. Let's take a look at this from Damien, and we'll be back with you, Shawn, after this. Let's take a look.
Hello everybody, I'm Damien, and today I represent the French company Enhancia. I'm here to present you our first expressive controller, the Neova MIDI ring. Music, like movies or video games, has seen tremendous advancement thanks to technology over the past decades. We have created new instruments, each more powerful than the next, but the way we control them must also improve. Today, a producer needs to play on his keyboard, then add effects through DAW or post-production process. Everything is thought out, calculated, so there is no more space for expression. This is why we created Neova. Neova is a MIDI ring which controls musical effects thanks to intuitive hand gestures to enhance your musical experience. Neova lets you express yourself without taking away your hands from the keys. You can control several parameters simultaneously with up to 4 gestures in the most natural possible way. It aims to complete your favorite instrument to extend its possibilities. Neova is MIDI compliant through USB and DIN connectivity, so it can be used to control both hardware and software instruments. So about the gestures, we have the first one called the vibrato, which is performed by simply moving your hand back and forward from left to right. You also have the pitch bend, then we have the roll, which is performed with a simple roll of the hand, and tilt. And both can be used at the very same time. So on this instrument, for example, I can perform the vibrato, pitch bend, and I have also the tilt.
Thank you, Damien. So I love the Neova MIDI ring. It kind of really predicts the applications that MIDI 2.0 and MPE were developed for, which is, to add extra axes of expression to MIDI controllers. And what's really wonderful about the Neova MIDI ring is that you can actually add it to any of the many really affordable MIDI controllers that are already available today. So Shawn, over to you. Have you got a question for Damien and about the Neova MIDI ring?
Hey Damien, awesome presentation. So I've tried a few different MIDI rings, and I've had my experiences with each one. And what I'm super impressed with and what I really appreciate about yours was the pianist sort of musical instrumentational perspective of for example, if I'm like playing fortissimo on a piano, I would angle my wrist like sort of this way. Yeah. Yeah, and there's like different things about that where it's not just that, but also like sort of the physiology and like how I would like pronate or supinate my elbow whenever I'm like playing piano and like reach towards like the end of the keyboard. Or like it's all these small things. And especially you have the dock that connects to your computer and it charges that way. And like instead of like plugging in a cable, as I've tried with like the other MIDI rings, like all you had to do is like place the MIDI ring down on this dock and it charges, and like you can go to sleep and wake up in the morning and it's like fully charged, and like you don't have to worry. It's like charging your phone like by your bedside at night. And you've taken that concept and like this sort of user interface friendliness, which I super appreciate. So the one thing I wanted to ask was, what were the challenges and the problems that you're very much proud of in terms of like the whole, what I guess it took like years or months, and there's this whole like playtesting and like doing all the prototyping and all these sort of things along the way. I wanted to ask you what was the thing you're most proud of accomplishing in that whole process?
That's a really great question. I think the most challenging part has been to make it really like a regular jewel. Like the technology is really transparent. If you don't know that it's a MIDI connected ring, you can't guess that it's technological stuff. And we had a lot of challenge to make it so tiny, so integrated, so that it could really fit on the player's habits without being too invasive on the play. Yeah.
Great.
Well answered. Good luck to you. Best of luck. Stay tuned later on in the show to find out the results. Now, I have a treat for you. You'll notice my good friend Tim has disappeared. I'll tell you why. We have a performance for you, and it's something you probably haven't seen before. So stay exactly where you are, because Tim's getting ready while we bring you this very special performance. We've still got 8 finalists we've not yet seen tonight, and you can have your say on the winners as the show goes on. We'll remind you of that, and remember, at the end of the show, the judges will be deciding a 3rd, 2nd and 1st place. Tim, I hope you're ready. Over to you, my friend. That is epic. You are a wizard. We'll give him a few seconds to make his way back over here. And Tim will shortly explain to you how you can join in. So if you want to get involved in that jam, stay tuned because we'll tell you how. What we're going to do now is have a quick message from one of our sponsors. We've got a little ad from our friends at Audio Modelling. And then very shortly we'll be meeting our next finalist. Tim, get your way back over here. So don't get too close. Remember the rules.
Yeah.
That's it. Air high five. That is amazing, mate. You are a wizard.
Ah, bless.
I'll call you a wizard. You ready with that message from Audio Modelling, folks? Get ready. Little promotional message from our friends. And then we will be right back very shortly after this.
So, you have a gazillion keyboards, plugins, and controllers, but they just don't seem to talk to one another. And even on stage, you're loading different sounds for each synth and every song manually. Well, no more. Musicians across the world now all share one solution to get full control of their keyboard setup: Camelot. Hardware and software synths finally all connected. Just with the touch of a button, you do what you do best. Just play and deliver the greatest show. Leave the rest to us. Choose Camelot, the plug-and-play solution to rule them all.
A huge thank you, of course, to all of our sponsors for helping to make this incredible event happen. I know it's virtual this year. Fingers crossed, Tim. We'll be in Anaheim next year.
Next year we'll be in Anaheim.
And we can do it in real life for NAMM 2022. We have everything crossed for that. By the way, what you were just showing us then, that's Endless, right?
That is Endless, yeah. So actually Endless, I run Endless. I started Endless.
Yeah.
And it's a live collaborative music making platform. So I was using the desktop software, Endless Studio, which we just launched in December.
Yeah.
And then I was also handing off to my mobile phone. So we've got an iOS app and a desktop app. It syncs in real time. And then I went over to Pro Tools and I dragged it into Pro Tools to start building a track. So that was just me doing that, but you can also do that with multiple people around the world. So
hold that thought.
Okay, yes.
Because here's what I'm thinking. I have an idea.
Right.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
Bear with me on this. One more quick promo message from our friends at Audio Modelling, and then I'm going to pick Tim's brain. Take a look at this.
Audio modeling started off creating a technology called synchronous waves acoustic modeling, SWAM for short. SWAM really excels at emulating acoustic instruments in a very expressive way.
That means that we are not using samples on our sound engine, but a model that creates in real time and generates the sounds.
Physical modeling has long been known as a method that you can really add a lot of expression to an instrument, but it's difficult to create a very lifelike sounding acoustic instrument. Audio modeling has really conquered that, especially when you play them with a keyboard combined with an expression pedal and a breath controller, for example.
Now, Tim, you mentioned there that it's like a global platform. So this is something people can join in?
Yes, exactly. So what I've done is I have created a link to that jam there.
Okay.
So we're going to throw up this link on the screen now, hopefully.
Yeah. We're going to see that in a second.
Bitly link. We'll see it in a second.
Yeah.
If you click on that link, it will take you to that jam, and you can then pick up where I left off.
I see it there. So bit.ly/MIDI Awards Jam.
Yeah, if you head to that link,
yeah,
that'll allow you to get into the jam. You'll also need to download the app. So if you've got an iOS device, iPad or iPhone, just head to endless with 3 S's.fm and you'll be able to download the mobile app. Well, it'll give you a link to where to go to the App Store to download the mobile app. We've also got a desktop app. If you want to go and buy that desktop app, it's currently 50% off.
What a bargain, people.
What a bargain, what a bargain. And you know, they work. You can join in from your DAW, you can join in from your laptop, your desktop, or your phone, and just jam. And I know there's going to be a bunch of endlessers out there who'll be in that jam who can show you the ropes. So
here's what I'm thinking.
Go on.
If you want to join in, you saw the link, get involved. Let's check in on that in a little bit and see if we've had any new content added from the Endless community.
Nice.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Good plan.
Now, we are going to meet another one of our judges now as we go over to say hi to Craig Anderton, who hopefully by the power of Zoom, there you are, Craig. Hello to you.
Well, hello there. How are you?
We're doing all right. We're doing all right, aren't we, Tim?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, we're doing
okay.
okay.
Good. Yeah.
I can see why you made this whole thing virtual, so we wouldn't get into fist fights about which ones we thought were better.
Listen, it's
very
tough
clever.
tonight. It's really, really tough. All 10 entries are incredible. I know you wanted to ask a question to Craig, didn't you?
Yeah, so Craig, as well as being president of the MIDI Association and an industry veteran, am I right that you've written more books on music production than anyone else on the planet?
I don't know if that's something to brag about, but yeah, it's about 45 books or so.
Wow.
I'm working on another one right now, so.
Because 45 just isn't enough.
I've been doing it for a long time. I am like 104
Listen,
years old, so you know.
we are so grateful for you joining us tonight, because we know that your expertise is going to be quite hard to argue with when it comes to the judges' deliberation, I would say, later on in the show. So, Craig, stay right there. We are going to say good evening now to Slovenia, where our third finalist, Andrej Kobal, is going to present to us GranuRise. So stay right there, Andrej. We'll be chatting to you in just a moment. We are going to take a look at your video presentation, because this is our third finalist for tonight, Andrej presenting GranuRise. So take a look, and remember, you get an audience vote. If you want to vote for him or any of our finalists, we'll remind you of the details very, very shortly. So just getting ready. Here we go. Let's take a look at this.
I'm Andrej Kobal, and I come from a small village from Slovenia called Vrhpolje. I am a developer, composer, sound designer and improviser, and I do a lot of patching inside of Max MSP. In Max MSP I have also built a granular synth called GranuRise. As we all know, in the virtual domain things can get easily too sterile and too perfect. The main challenge in GranuRise was how to take the advantage of the software domain and transform it into something more organic and less perfect. The main question was how to merge together the so-called classical instrument with the virtual one. I discovered that the gesture is one of the most essential but also the most powerful element of music. And so I implemented it into the software domain. By doing so, now GranuRise feels much more less as a software and acts more as a real instrument. GranuRise is a granular and software synth that offers a unique way of interaction. Instead of complex LFOs and matrix systems, it uses gesture to add movement and modulation to the sound. By enabling the gesture feature, for example in the waveform section, your movement can now be automatically recorded and played back. Since the software now controls this gesture for you, you can now freely move to another GranuRise model and control other parameters. As an example, we can take the pitch module, which controls the pitch of each grain individually. By enabling the gesture feature in the preset section, we can now create an automatic morphing of our pitch states. Beside the granular module, GranuRise also features a spectral module, a morphing sampler module, and an effect module. All of these models and their transformation can be then sent and layered in the synth engine. GranuRise also features an advanced MPE and bidirectional MIDI integration. The Rolly Blocks MPE bidirectional integration develops some really interesting concepts of modular MIDI and tends to break the boundaries between hardware and software. GranuRise introduces a lot more innovative and creative concepts, such as how can we make music outside of the grid-based system? How can we perceive a software error as a musical element? And how can an automated gesture prepare a semi-prepared structure? By combining all of these concepts and all of the GranuRise sound models, basically we can build a whole composition from a simple sound source.
Thank you, Andrej. So what Andrej's created is one of the best examples that I've seen of software that really thinks about hardware, and the way that he's integrated it with the Rolly Blocks really feels like an end-to-end instrument. And he's really made he's made the digital interface part of MIDI disappear, which I think is wonderful. So Craig, is there anything that you'd like to hear directly from Andrej about?
Yeah, actually, I mean, I'm very intrigued by it. I like the idea of you sort of getting inside the waveform, as opposed to just like sample playback type thinking. The one question I had was, I was spending quite some time on your site because it was interesting, and I noticed you recommend having a sample buffer of at least 1,000 samples. So I was wondering if this is something if this is a constraint that can be lowered in the future so you can do more percussive things, or whether this is designed to be more of like for pads and experimental type music.
Yes.
I was just concerned about the delay, the latency involved.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it could be even lowered. This was just a conceptual idea, and can be even lowered the buffer. And it was because we were thinking more like you have like to capture maybe. It was at the beginning. It was think more for, let's say, like pads and stuff, but also you can combine with other models, and you can really make because one challenge of the, let's say, of the granular synthesis, the more, let's say, transient part, but you can build it in other models and combine all of that together. Hope that answers the question.
How do you use it? You personally, like, do you compose with it? Is it something that, what was your motivation for making it?
Yeah, basically I started for myself because I couldn't find an instrument that was really, in the software domain that was really interactive. And I use it for myself. I use it as I can build a whole composition out of it because by combining all of these models. And I have also made like some installations when each grain was sent to each individual speaker. So yeah, there's a lot of like use cases that you can use it.
I always like the software that people make for themselves. I mean, that's how Ableton Live got started, right? So thank you very much. Good luck.
Thanks.
Very much, Craig, and thank you, Andrej. We're going to keep things moving now because we've still got a lot to get through, Tim. This is going to be a busy evening. We're going to say hello to our next expert judge on tonight's panel, who is lining up to talk to us live. A bit of a legend, I will say. We are really excited for John KO to be joining us, and hopefully we can say hello to you, John. Hello.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hello, John.
I might be just considered a legend in my own mind, by the way.
Listen, we'll take it. If someone calls you a legend, you put it on your LinkedIn profile. Take it.
Okay.
So
must be true then.
John, you've lectured at Harvard and MIT, and you're a real innovation expert. So what are you specifically looking forward to seeing from the finalists tonight?
Well, innovation is one of these words. Marvin Minsky, the father of AI, or one of the fathers of AI, referred to suitcase words as those that needed a lot of unpacking because they had multiple meanings. So in my view, innovation really comes alive when it's about doing something or experiencing something that's quite different from the norm. So a disruptive innovation, not just kind of polishing the apple and improving it. And then the other thing about innovation is it has to change the existing order of things. It can't just be a neat something, because that would mean it was an invention. But an innovation really goes out into the world and does a lot of the work of changing things. So I'm looking for both. I mean, I think that we have 10 extraordinary entrants, and one thing that really impresses me about them is how global the participants are. And that speaks to, I think, the inherent power of MIDI, which is about connection. We live in a networked world. Increasingly, H.G. Wells in the 1930s talked about the world brain, this is before electronics. He talked about the vision of integrating all the world's knowledge and the world's perspectives into a unified whole. And now we have that. And music has always been at the forefront of digital innovation. The business models, back to file sharing and synthesis, all these things, mean that music in general and MIDI in particular have a very important role to play, not just in making better musical tools, but actually demonstrating how we can all be more connected to one another in a meaningful way.
Yeah, that is. I think the best answer we could have imagined to get from that. That is incredible. John, stay where you are if that's all right, because we'd love to get your thoughts and a question for our next finalist. Now, John mentioned we have a global database of people that enter tonight. Our 10 finalists are from all corners of the world. And our fourth finalist we're going to meet now comes from Toronto, Canada. The innovation is Tablix. It comes from Gurpreet, and we're going to take a look at this VT right now.
The tabla is over 200 years old, and its language is said to exist since the beginning of time. I've been learning this language and playing the tabla since the age of 3. Good day and Sat Sri Akal, everyone. My name is Gurpreet, and I'm coming to you from Surman Studio in Toronto, Canada, and I'm very excited to share Tablix with you. Tablix is a digitally augmented tabla, a conversation between the language of the tabla, music production technology, and MIDI. The tabla language is like beatboxing, where every bow you say has a corresponding finger gesture, stroke, and sound. Da, din, din, da, tirikata gidigina da, tirikata tirikata da. The tabla is a melodic percussion instrument. Each bora or treble drum has a natural frequency, and it is important to tune to the root note or tonic of the song you are playing or whomever you are accompanying. Additionally, you can compose melodies with these tuned bora known as tabla tarang. Tablix started with the desire to communicate with technology in a way that stayed true to the ergonomics, technique, and art form of playing the tabla, all the while making it sound great and more flexible to tour, set up, and collaborate with. The first creative project and goal was to digitally pitch shift the tabla in real time, and then to compose, produce, and perform digital tabla tarang by processing tabla rhythms through programmed MIDI. Tablix is continuously evolving. I started by trying existing hardware, which was limited in synergizing the tabla technique, and then I explored off-the-shelf software, which was CPU and latency heavy. This ultimately led me to developing a custom 3-part max patch, which marries tabla audio with MIDI quite efficiently. Tablix aims to continue down the research and development path to evolve into the most synergistic digital hand percussion instrument. Aligned partnerships and collaborations with technological creatives and companies can help realize this expressive instrument, while leading to the expansion of imagination and musical creation in the digital canvas for artists in global markets. Thank you for taking the time to Tablix with me.
Thank you, Gurpreet. So this is the first time tonight that we've seen MIDI used to augment a specific musical form or genre, which I think is super exciting. So these kind of tools can be very, very powerful, both culturally and commercially. We know that Antares famously took this approach by creating auto-tune for the voice in the 90s, which spawned multiple new musical genres. So, John, do you have a question for Gurpreet about his innovation?
I certainly do. And first of all, I want to congratulate him on making that bridge between a centuries-old musical tradition and MIDI in the 21st century. That alone is intriguing. And I'm well aware of the capabilities of the tabla, having hung out with Zakir Hussain in San Francisco, where we have both served on the board of SF Jazz. My question, I think, really relates to the use cases for what is an amazing invention. Do we envision that this is for seasoned tabla players who are going to then augment their capabilities? Is it for people who want to develop some proficiency in tabla playing so they can exploit all the capabilities of the system you've created? Or do you imagine that neophytes who know very little about the tabla will get tablas and mess around with them because they can squeeze interesting rhythmic or tonal effects out of it? Who ultimately is the end user, and how would you prioritize them in terms of the impact that you see your invention having?
Thank you very much for that question, Mr. Kao. This current iteration started from a creative desire through my own musical collaborations with other musicians and DJs, and particularly growing up in Canada, I was playing the tabla and conversing through that language, but playing with musicians from so many other different backgrounds and styles of music. This current iteration was a technological experiment. The next iteration where I see Tablix going is some sort of hardware or wearable that is for the proficient tabla player, particularly so that their expression is seamlessly integrated into the digital world. And then that same instrument, I feel, can also be used as a learning device, making the tabla, its language, more accessible to people all over the world. And tied into that, my inherent belief is if we can engineer and design something capable enough to express the nuances of the tabla technique, then it should also be able to work for other percussive languages and other percussive instruments. So ultimately, I enter the digital world through the tabla expression, the tabla language, but I believe if we can make an instrument that serves that language, it can serve every other percussion instrument, and hence any other novice or professional musician wanting to explore this digital space in a truly expressive, authentically expressive way.
Thank you very much, John, for your question, and Gurpreet, very well answered. This isn't an easy decision for our judges tonight.
Certainly not.
We are seeing some incredible innovation. Now, earlier we said a big thank you to our sponsors. We're going to have a quick message now from another one of those. We are very grateful for all of your support. This is Houghtonay. A big thanks to Houghtonay and all of our sponsors tonight. Now, Tim, earlier on, you did something awesome and you've been inviting the endless community to get involved. Big question is, please tell me someone's got involved.
Well, I'm just actually waiting right now because the iPad that I'd left on is just is now booting up.
Here's what we'll do.
Jam.
We'll revisit it.
We'll revisit it in a bit.
Live telly, folks. It's what we're doing. What we're going to do, we're going to remind you of our voting details now. So we're going to get the voting details up on screen for you because we've shown you 4 finalists so far. There are more to see, but whilst our judges are going to get to make decisions, you get to vote for your favourite. Tim, the website, if they'd like to vote, please.
musichackspace.org/MIA2021.
Awesome. So choose your favourite. You can only vote for one finalist. musichackspace.org/MIA2021. Now, Tim, the iPad has awoken.
The iPad has awoken.
Have people joined in?
They have. They certainly have. In fact, we've got riffs pouring in now.
Oh my goodness.
So can we hear it? Is the audio coming through? Do we have the Bluetooth? We do. So this
is awesome.
Do you know what I'll do, actually? I'll have a quick look. Maybe shall I show this to the camera? So I'll dive into, so this is the history of riffs. So people have gone crazy. So this is, so there we go. This is what I did earlier. And you can hear, actually, people have, wow, there's been loads of people in here. Let's just dive into one and let it load up. Let's go to the latest one.
Who's this from?
So this one is from someone called Hideous When Naked. What a great name.
Hideous When Naked, wow.
And now this has been remixed by a guy called Teo. And and now we've got Mr. Sneefs, who's just dropped something in. We've got Elling, we've got Banzi,
This is awesome.
We've got JB Bass, he's just dropped something in. It's popping off in there.
Here's what I'm going to suggest. Let's give people a bit more time. For now, if you want to join us, can we see the website very quickly one more time? If you'd like to join us, there is a web link. There is time. We're going to revisit it again. Half an hour or so?
Half an hour or so, yeah.
Let's do that. We'll give you half an hour if you want to get involved. There is still time to join us. Here's the link. bit.ly/MIDI Awards Jam. bit.ly/MIDI Awards Jam. We'll revisit that again later in the show. Oh, this is fun. We're doing well. We're nearly halfway through.
Wow.
Loving your work. Right, we are now going to check in with another of our judges because we have, we're mixing it up. Yuri is who we're going to talk to next. Yuri, hopefully via the power of Zoom, we can see you and we can hear you. Hello, Yuri.
Hiya.
How are you?
Thank you for invitation. It's good.
Good to have you here.
Hello, Yuri. Yeah, welcome. So, you've worked on some huge digital installation projects, which, and I just wondered, your pyramid installation, how did you find working with will.i.am?
He's an incredibly inspiring person. And if you can imagine, like this collaboration that continued for almost more than 2 years. And we closely working together. He keeps sending me some inspiration. And it's pretty much really tightly collaborative process. That was really pleased work for that project.
Awesome. Well, I mean, will.i.am is innovation, isn't he? I mean, to partner with him, create something like you did is mind-blowing. And again, we're very grateful for you joining us tonight, Yuri. Stay where you are if that's okay, because what we're going to do, we're going to check in on our finalist number 5, Mr. Leigh Davies, who joins us tonight live from sunny Wales. There he is.
Hey.
Great to see you, Leigh. We'll chat to you in just a moment. But first of all, we are going to take a look at your presentation video. Finalist number 5 is Leigh, and this is Playces. So this is our 5th finalist. If you'd like to vote, we'll give you the details shortly. This is Playces by Leigh. Here we go.
Hello, my name is Leigh Davies. I'm a systems creative and multidisciplinary practitioner from Wales in the UK. And I'm here to talk to you about a series of interactive sculptures called Playces. So this project emerged as an effort, really, to unify disparate audiences and different age groups through a shared audiovisual exhibition experience that promotes curiosity, exploration, and play. Now, in order to be successful in that mission, Playces had to present itself in a way that would successfully appeal to these different age groups. So, at one end of the scale, for more generational elderly audiences, the form factor of these interactive audiovisual sculptures had to avoid any risk of alienating individuals of a more technophobic persuasion. And then similarly, at the other end of the scale, when it comes to very young audiences, this project had to be accessible and intuitive enough that any musical output from these sculptures was a result of exploration and not skill. So, at a practical level, a suitable configuration for this project was ultimately achieved, really, through a combination of recycled cardboard, low-cost embeddable sensors, and reactive sound design, which was all stitched together through the use of MIDI messaging protocols. The sculptures themselves structurally depict different locations, and within each of these, a variety of interactive sensors has been integrated. As a result of the debut exhibition, Playces succeeded in bringing together hundreds of individuals of all ages, and many of these people had expressed the fact that they'd never been given the opportunity to directly interact with digital sound and music processes before. So, although everyone who approached these sculptures had no idea initially that they were effectively musical instruments, Nonetheless, they left that experience realizing that they'd actually been part of an incidental sonic collaboration with members of the public from many different age groups and backgrounds.
Leigh, this is wonderful. It's just so beautifully out there, but also so beautifully accessible too. It's an interactive soundtrack for an architectural story, and it's made out of cardboard. I mean, what more can you say? I don't think I've ever seen MIDI be so human before. So, Yuri, what would you like to know from Leigh about this piece?
Yeah, I love this piece. First of all, thank you for presentation. And if I'm cheeky, can I ask 2 questions? So first of all, like my question is like really beautiful designed architecture. And once you open the window or door, like making sound, do you have any reason to have link with like sound and also like kind of functions architecture building?
Yeah, so I mean, to be honest, that part of the project, that element of the project is inspired by the idea of object affordance. So one of the reasons these structures became places was that locations just have so many different ingredients that make up all of the things that make a place. There's a lot of things going on in places, and I think that was what I was really interested in, is what happens when people explore these structures. When you open doors, when you move objects, when you twist things, when you bend things, all these actions have they have a valuable they're just valuable towards musical interaction. So that's that was kind of one of the main driving forces behind the project, really, is just really tapping into what makes a space and allowing that to control those musical processes, really.
Yeah, it reminded me like Tangible Media's Hiroshi Ishii's musical bottle project, because link with affordance and the sound, that's really beautifully merged this project, I think. And another question, like final question, is do you have any vision to like kind of enlarge or like kind of develop more for this project? If you have, can you share with us?
I certainly do, yes. I mean, to be honest, the first run of this project was just the beginning for Playces. So it emerged as a local community arts project that, as you would have heard in the video presentation there a moment ago, was designed to just open up these interactive MIDI processes, these digital music processes, to audiences that don't usually interact with it. But even this first edition was quite a contained scale. So there was 4 or 5 sculptures that were created. But I'm really, really interested in opening up not the number of sculptures, but actually the scale of the sculptures. So the windmill sculpture is a good example of how that could become a much, much bigger, much more immersive structure, really, to bring people really into this world and allow them to interact with many more elements of the structures, really. Yeah.
Well, Leigh, good luck tonight. We've seen half of our finalists. There's still 5 more to go. You'll be able to vote for your favourite. Time to say hello to another of our expert judges now from tonight's panel, as we say hello to Helen.
Hello, Helen.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here. Yeah, thank you. So you're an incredibly creative hacker and author. You must be pretty impressed by some of the innovation on the show tonight, right?
I am, yes. I've really enjoyed looking over everybody else's projects and products, and I've been really impressed with the breadth of talent on display here, from hardware to software to community building. It's been a real celebration of what you can do with MIDI around the world. So, yeah, congratulations
stay where
to
you
all 10
are,
participants.
and I'm sure the finalists are very grateful for those encouraging words. We'd love your thoughts on this. We're going to meet our 6th finalist now for the MIDI Innovation Awards, and it is Hugh, who is just around the corner here in London. Hello, Hugh. Nice to see you. Stay there, sir. We'll be talking to you in just a moment. Firstly, we're going to watch Hugh's video. This is finalist number 6. The product is Stretchy, which is intriguing. I wonder what it's going to be. We're going to find out more in just a moment. So this is finalist number 6 from Hugh. This is Stretchy.
Hello, my name is Hugh Ainsley. I'm a musician and instrument maker based in London. My practice is focused around creating new accessible instruments and adaptations to existing instruments for and with disabled people. Stretchy is one of these instruments. In terms of the design of the instrument, I want it to be very minimalist and approachable. As you can see, there are no knobs, keys, faders or frets on the instrument, and everything is controlled through the interaction of the strings themselves. In terms of accessibility, there is a tripod and a mic stand attachment in the base of the instrument, so it can be presented in a variety of angles depending on the need of the user. Stretchy is in an open tuning system. This means that each string has its own fixed note, and you can move around different scales and tonalities through an external MIDI controller. So this is an example of that. You just press C on this keyboard, and now the instrument will be in a C scale. There are currently 4 playing modes to Stretchy and different playing techniques to get different sound attributes out of the instrument. First of all, I'm going to demonstrate pluck, which is a slight pull up and release, a very intuitive action for a stringed instrument. The second playing mode of Stretchy is hold. This is more of a key-based action, and you can sustain the notes by holding the strings and push into them to control aftertouch attributes of those notes. The third playing mode of Stretchy is bend. You can wiggle the strings to control pitch bend attributes of that note. The final playing mode of Stretchy is slide. This enables the players to slide up and down the strings to control effects parameters such as a modulation wheel or a filter. Okay, so that was just a very quick demonstration of Stretchy. I hope it gives you an idea of the instrument and the potential of it. Many thanks to the Music Hackspace, the MIDI Association and NAM for having me, and I hope that you'll be able to try out Stretchy for yourself one day soon.
Thank you, Hugh. Now, what I love about what you've done here is that it kind of turns the intended application of MIDI on its head, because you're translating the interactive properties of acoustic instruments into a digital context, and it's amazing how you've done this, how you've made this adaptable for so many different types of physical disabilities. What a compassionate and creative project. So, Helen, what would you like to know from Hugh about his project?
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Hugh on such a lovely project. I have seen it in the rounds, and I've always admired the use of Stretchy, particularly in the accessibility realm. I think I've seen a lot of teachers who really would love to use a product such as this in their classrooms. So my question for you is, I've not actually seen a bill of materials or components list for Stretchy, but I was wondering if you were planning on taking the Stretchy from being a project into actually being a product, and if so, have you looked into how manufacturable Stretchy is as an object?
Sure, thank you for the question, Helen. Yeah, so I've done a lot of research on Stretchy in terms of accessibility and the design, and that's been the main focus of the instrument for the last 2 years. And for the last 8 months, I'm now looking at the commercial potential of the instrument for children and for it to be a modular instrument for a musician's workflow, but also as an instrument for the general population, disabled people and children. So in terms of manufacturing it, it is possible to manufacture it, and it's quite ecological as it's made of wood, and the rubber, you don't use very much rubber, and it is possible. And so I'm currently looking into that line, basically.
I'm quite interested to know if I can ask a little bit more about the technology behind Stretchy. Are you using conductive material elastic? Are you using conductive elastic, or are you making rubber into an actual sensor yourself?
So I'm using a very combust rubber, which lasts a long time. It's lasted about 4 years on one of the instruments. And I'm essentially looking at the interaction that the user has with the instrument. So I'm doing a lot of feature extractions and mapping and machine learning. And I don't want to get too much into the technology at this point because I am looking at the commercialization of it. But that's how it works. It's essentially looking at how the user is moving the rubber and how the user is using the rubber and trying to interpret that into a musical outcome.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your question, Helen, and good luck tonight, Hugh. Now, Tim, it's time for a little bit of a treat, right?
It is a little bit. So there are some fantastic artists using MIDI, and Chagall is a very good friend of mine and a fellow artist. Also actually worked on Endless for a bit. Little
Very
factoids,
nice.
yeah. So she's been using MIDI to communicate between gestures and music software to create great performances. So we're now going to take a look at one of her performances, and she will shed some light on the processes involved in creating the magic she creates.
Very cool. Let's take a look.
I'm Chagall. I'm a singer, producer, and when we're not in a pandemic, a live performer. I also work at Mimu, where we develop the Mimu gloves and Glover. And in my work as an artist, I develop live experiences around my songs, where I perform with the Mimu gloves and a full body motion capture suit that let me control music, sound, and effects, as well as real-time visual projections with the movement of my body. Onze ramen zijn gebroken. Maar we houden onze deuren pot, dicht. I keep to myself, I know. In onze sleur, een onbenoemde furie. I admire in silence and awe. No patience for love.
So it's a bit easier now. just incredible, Chagall. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. We've still got things to get through, so we are picking up the pace as we meet finalist number 7. We go to North Carolina, where Kevin Chang talks us through the Soniclast Plastic Pitch Pro. Take a look. Did he wait?
Hi, my name is Kevin Chang, and I live in Durham, North Carolina, USA. I'm the owner of Soniclast. I'm an inventor, engineer, designer, and maker of electronic musical instruments. When I began developing the Plastic Pitch Pro, my initial inspiration was the mathematical relationship between scales and timbres. I asked, what if I made an inharmonic timbre with my synthesizer? How would I go about finding a suitable scale? Of course, you could go at it with a Fourier transform, but I really wanted a more musically intuitive approach. So I began with a design choice to limit my scale search to 12-tone scales, and this has the benefit that keyboard players can use all of their existing technique to audition the tunings they create within the context of the timbre they're using. So from there I developed a number of versions, one of which my company Soniclast sold to customers and received feedback about, and I've incorporated all of that feedback and some of my own ideas into creating what is now the Plastic Pitch Pro. The Plastic Pitch Pro is a follow-up to an earlier version we've been selling, and the Pro incorporates feedback that we've received from customers as well as some of my own ideas to enhance and refine the concept. In short, it's a high-resolution MIDI microtuner made for live performance and experimentation with tuning. As you can see from the black and white knobs, it was designed with a standard keyboard layout so that keyboard players can use all of their existing technique to play alternate tunings. With more than 40 user customizable parameters, it is designed to work with any MIDI controller and any MIDI synthesizer. In fact, it can tune more than one synth at a time. It supports tuning presets that are saved in the well-known Scala file format on a micro SD card. One of the really fun and musical features when working with presets is that you can modulate in real time. You can use a foot controller such as this and send MIDI notes. If you want to use a just intonation scale, you can avoid the wolf interval simply by modulating while you're playing. At its heart are 14 real-time tuning knobs. The black and white ones, of course, correspond to an octave of keys. Each one provides independent tuning of its corresponding note across a whole keyboard. The other two real-time tuning knobs, the gray ones, set the range and width. The range knob adjusts the range of the 12 black and white knobs all at once. The width knob sets the sense width of an octave of keys from 600 to 2400 cents, and anywhere in between in 1 cent increments. Thanks for the opportunity to share in this space.
Thank you, Kevin, and congratulations on being super on trend. So if you're an electronic music nerd like me, you'll know that micro-tuning is all the rage, made popular by artists such as Aphex Twin. In fact, I bet that Aphex has actually got one of these. If he doesn't, the next time I see him, I'm going to tell him to get one. So, Craig, do you have a question for Kevin?
Yeah, first of all, I'm quite a fan of just intonation. I've worked a lot with it over the years, despite its incredible inconvenience. And I just love having those pure intervals. So I was immediately struck by this invention as something, with real potential. I have to say that seeing this parade of creativity has been really great, and trying to figure out, who are the top 3 or the top 4 or whatever. It's just so difficult because it's really the top 10, and that's kind of it. But with regards to your specific thing there, I wasn't quite sure. You mentioned being able to do transpositions with a foot switch in your video, but I was wondering if you were planning on having like a key switching type action, because so many programs have key switch tracks now, so you could do the modulation that way.
Put my mic up. Kevin, I think you're on mute, my friend. That's the phrase of the year. So whatever you just said, I'm sure it was awesome, but say it again. Go on.
Well, thank you for the question, Mr. Anderton. I'm not sure what you mean by the key switching. You can do the modulation using the encoder as well as using a controller. I'm not. Can you maybe elaborate on that?
Yeah, a lot of programs these days, for example, that are designed to do like guitar strums or something like that, or performance spiccatos on, or different voicing or different attacks on cellos and things like that, dedicate the lower octave of a keyboard to specific articulations of wind instruments or brass instruments or whatever, and you play the melodies on, or the chords or whatever on the remaining keys. So that's what key switching is all about. So you could use, for example, the bottom octave to choose the key to which you want to modulate, and then you would be playing on the upper keys.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. The way it works is it uses a separate channel for the key modulation. So you can do that with one keyboard if you assign, one MIDI channel for that end of the keyboard, and then the rest of the keyboard would be, the other channel that's playing the actual notes. So yeah, that's definitely doable. In that case of the demo, I was using my foot because I was using both my hands to play the piece, but you could also, roll that into the side of your keyboard as well. And that's completely user configurable.
Awesome. Thank you, Craig, for your question. Thank you, Kevin, for your entry. Good luck. We are very close to finding out who the winners are. Now we have another finalist to see now, finalist number 8. We are going to say hello to Keith Groover as he presents to us The Glide. Let's take a look at this from Keith. We're ready, let's take a look.
My name is Keith Groover and I'm from Spartanburg, South Carolina in the United States. I've been a multi-instrumentalist since I was a kid, and what I've noticed is that most instruments fall into two categories. Either they are very accessible, very easy to play, or they are very expressive. And I wanted to get an instrument that could meld the best of those two worlds together, and something that was accessible in a way that was musically accessible, but also physically accessible and also financially accessible. In order to really crack the code, I think I had to discover and integrate 3 different things. One was the accelerometer and finding out how cheap it is, but also how incredibly accurate it is. 2, Arduino and the power of that. And then 3, the wonderful world of MIDI, which as a musician I had always known. Put those together, go through about 100 physical prototypes and about 1,000 or more code prototypes. So here is my instrument. It's called the Glide. You can see there's 5 glowing buttons there. There's also a button up here, thumbstick, and there's another little button on that side. There it is. The way this works is that this hand over here chooses notes. So it chooses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then this hand over here chooses octaves, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then that thumbstick can make any note sharp or flat. Okay, so what I do is I pick a combination of buttons and then hit it. Like that. And then once I hit it, I can do vibrato with this hand. I can do volume over in that hand. And then once you get used to all those notes, you can do glide. This is cool. You play a note, and then you switch to a different note. Those together. Like that. You can also do other advanced stuff like And that's kind of a basic rundown. The whole instrument is meant to be easy, meant to be extremely deep, but also have a very smooth learning curve so that the more time you spend in it, the more you will get out of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Keith. I love it. It's kind of like a 3-bit binary mashup between the theremin and the trumpet, all served up like a game controller. And what I also love is that you've clearly gone on to develop a technique which is super important to do if you're commercializing an instrument. So, Kate, over to you. Have you got a question for Keith?
Yeah, and I love how you described it, the trumpet and the theremin, and so I'd love to know, how has it enabled you or anyone else to express themselves in a way that they never could before?
Yeah, I'm a guitarist, like that's my main instrument, and you know, something that you can't do on the guitar is like actually sustain a note for longer than a second unless you're playing an electric. And so this instrument has allowed me to go back to whenever I was a kid and I played the trombone, and I was able to do vibrato, and I was able to do slides, and I was able to do all of these swells and stuff like that, but then I didn't have to actually go through the difficulty of playing a trombone. So I designed the instrument to be just really like human centered, where you know, the controllers are easy to play. It's only got 5 buttons on it. If your hands don't work exactly perfectly, you know, unlike, you know, if you're playing a violin, you have to have perfect anatomy. And I tried to design an instrument that even a little kid could pick up, but it would sustain, like there's an amount of a depth that would allow you to spend a lot of time in it and get more and more out of it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Good luck. We are so close now to seeing all of our finalists revealing the answers. Time for a quick ad now from one of our sponsors, EF Note. But don't go away. We have an amazing performance from SK Shlomo in just 2 minutes' time.
Now, I cannot wait for this. So SK Shlomo, also a friend of mine who I recently collabed with, is one of the most respected beatboxers and loop wizards in the industry. And he's been having some fun with some of our judges and our Music Hackspace production team to create something very special just for us. Here we go.
What's going on, MIDI Innovation Awards? It's good to see you. My name is SK Shlomo. I'm very excited to be here. I'm a big fan of so many people involved in tonight. It's incredible. What an honor to be asked to be here. And I'm going to have some fun with you. I've got a few minutes to have a little bit of a musical interlude using MIDI, using technology. This is my machine. I call her Beast, and I use Beast to do my live looping. I'm a world looping champion and a world record-breaking beatboxer. And today I'm going to have a little bit of fun with the judges. Judges, are you guys there? Say hello, judges.
Hello, judges.
Hello. Okay, guys, I am going to turn you guys into music in real time, okay? All I need you to do is make a sound. Who wants to go first? Okay, cool.
Athan, yeah.
Athan is humbly going first. Athan, all I need you to do is make any sound you want after 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
MIDI.
I got you. Okay, cool. Who's going to go second? That's all it takes. Who's going to go second? Yuri, second. Ready, steady, go.
One more time. I used to practice beatboxing.
You're good, bro. I got this. I prefer that. Okay, who's going to go third? Who's next? Who's next?
Oh.
Shawn is going to go next. Here we go. Shawn Wasabi. 1, 2, 3.
Beep boop bot. Bot.
Yes. That's very, very good. And who's going to go next? What have we got? 5 slots left. Let's do this.
John. Innovation.
Okay, and who was that? Let me do that after 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Innovation. Okay,
let's go in there, and then we're halfway there. We need 4 more. Who's going to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next.
1, 2, 3.
Prizes.
Love it. Who's next?
I am your father.
Oh, can you do that? You know what? I only got at the end. Let me do it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I am your father.
This is gonna be good. I got 2 more. Okay, who's it gonna be?
All right, I'm going.
JD, ready?
Go.
1, 2, 3.
Go ahead.
Whoa!
That's cool. Kate, you can do the last one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Let's do this, people. 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 Do this.
Okay. We can have some fun with this, I think. Oh, yes, well done. Round of applause for the judges there, who, to be fair, were probably completely terrified about what I was about to do with them, but they absolutely smashed it. So thank you so much. My name is SK Shlomo. You can catch me every single Thursday live, absolutely free, on all my different social media channels. 8:30 GMT. Thank you so much for having me. MIDI Innovation Awards. I will see you guys again very, very soon. Goodbye.
Shlomo, that was awesome. Loving your work, my friend. That man holds world records.
He does
He's
indeed.
a good man. Thank you so much for that. We love it. 2 more finalists to meet tonight, folks, and then we have many prizes to award, totaling a value of over $20,000. Now, our penultimate finalist is Krishna Chetan, who is joining us from India. Take a look at Fluid Pitch.
Hi, my name is Krishna Chetan, founder of Pitch Innovations. I have worked as a music producer for 2 decades in the Indian music industry, primarily under Oscar-winning music composer Mr. A.R. Rahman. So in Indian music, it is very common to have a melody which requires different pitch bend ranges in different notes. So far the solution that we had is, after we choose our sound, we set different pitch bend ranges in one instrument and we play half the melody in one track and then duplicate the same instrument, set different pitch bend range and play the remaining part of the melody in the second track. This has been the workaround for many decades. So after many ideas and iterations, I found a simple and elegant solution to this problem, which I call as scale locked pitch bending system. We focused on one aspect of your MIDI keyboard, the pitch bend wheel, and improved it by multiple folds, removing some of the existing constraints it had and opening new possibilities that were never imagined before. So let's check out fluid pitch in action. So let's see how this sound will work in a traditional pitch bend system without fluid pitch. Traditional pitch bend is always tone bend, so my C is actually going to B flat, but my D sharp is actually going to C sharp, which is not part of the scale, and that's why we're getting this dissonant sound. Fluid pitch solves this problem by using its proprietary scale locked pitch bending system. All you have to do is insert fluid pitch prior to your synth or sampler, and then you will be able to play like this. So for this lead melody, we use fluid pitch in C minor, and I just took out the G sharp note, which is the 6th note of the scale. So my G goes to B flat. So you can see that, just by taking out certain notes that you don't want, you will be able to glide smoothly within the scale that you chose. Fluid pitch is built with a powerful MPE upscale engine, which can transform any standard keyboard into an MPE device. Pitch Innovations was founded with the vision to accelerate the transition between MIDI to MPE in the music instruments industry and to unlock new ways to express music.
Love it, Krishna, thank you. I think your innovation is very smart because it's smart commercially, it's smart creatively, and it's also smart in terms of execution. So like Gurpreet's Tablix solution, I think you've built a specific solution for a specific musical form, and I think these things can actually be very commercially successful. So, John, over to you for one quick question for Krishna about his innovation.
Well, I'll do 1.5 quick questions. One is on the technical side is to what extent can you program any kind of mode microtonal array into your system? And then the broader question is, what do you consider to be the top 1 or 2 use cases? In other words, the end users for your remarkable, I would say, and very compelling innovation.
Thanks, John. So I think rather than inventing new things, what I focused on is improving a standard MIDI controller, which we use for 12 to 15 hours a day. And the idea is to improve certain aspects, which can help us play, express music, and perform music with more confidence on stage, and also open new possibilities when we, compose music in studios. And in terms of microtuning, I think we have a microtuning feature which you can individually microtune any notes, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much and good luck. We are literally minutes away from locking down the votes and finding out who's won. So thank you. Loving your work. Now we've seen some amazing finalists. We've got one more to meet. Finalist number 10, Marco from Ukraine with Jammy E, the portable MIDI guitar. Take a look at this.
Hi, we're Jammy Instruments from Kyiv, Ukraine. We set out to create a MIDI controller for guitar players that would be as familiar, reliable, and affordable as a MIDI keyboard is to piano players. We also wanted to make it as expressive as other MPE controllers and as easy to carry around as a laptop. Early on, we knew that we didn't want to build another pitch to MIDI solution because we were aiming for the absolute lowest latency, and we wanted to capture as many nuances of the player's interaction with the strings as possible. So we've created a digital instrument with a proprietary sensor technology that reads the position of your fingers, the vibration of the string, and translates this and other information into MIDI signal. The process of developing the right combination of hardware, firmware, and software took us 4 years of engineering work, over 1,000 hours in conversations with guitar players worldwide, and one complete product redesign. This is the Jammy E MIDI guitar. The neck and the bridge are two separate modules equipped with a total of 12 optical sensors that read the vibration and deflection of strings. On this side, they're being used to detect the velocity of picking and strumming. And on the neck, they are used to detect bending and vibrato, as well as hammer-ons and pull-offs. These are our second generation sensors, which are designed for a wider dynamic range, and coupled with our new processing architecture, a higher sampling rate and a latency below 10 milliseconds. The fretboard contains 15 segmented frets that help detect the position of your fingers on the string. This, combined with the tuning which you select digitally, will determine which note will be played when you pick or tap the string. Jammy is also equipped with capacitive sensors on both sides, so it detects when you're touching the strings. This can be used to mute the strings completely, or modify the sound using a key switch or a MIDI CC command when I'm touching the string. All of this combined gives guitar players a familiar interface into the world of MIDI, which opens up so many new doors for creativity.
Excellent, Marco. So, full disclosure, I actually know Marco as Jammy was running their Kickstarter campaign at the same time we were running our endless Kickstarter campaign in the summer. There's so much to say, but I know there's a heck of a lot of really impressive technology inside Jammy E, but I'll leave it there. But over to you, Shawn. Do you have a question for Marco about Jammy?
Marco, amazing presentation. I love that. So I've tried different MIDI guitar type things where maybe one was like a pickup that you would attach to your guitar and it would read the notes and convert them into MIDI. And along the way throughout the past couple of decades, we've had different inventions that sort of touched up on that. And what I'm super impressed about your MIDI guitar is the tertiary detail to accessibility. I've seen your website. You have this interface where you can press keys on your keyboard and it shows you what the guitar does, and you have an app that you can connect to your MIDI guitar, and it comes with a carrying case, and it has these pegs on the end that you could attach your guitar strap to, and even then the construction of it is it sort of reminds me of IKEA furniture where you modularly build the thing. It comes in a small box, but you put it together and it's this cool stick. But so yeah, what that reminds me of is it takes me back to high school when someone like me would carry the guitar with them, this giant ass acoustic guitar on their back on the guitar strap. And what I like about you having your carrying case, and it's this compact thing that it's a stick. It's like carrying a broomstick, but it weighs 2 pounds or whatever. And that's 2 pounds in freedom units. I don't know what the metric is, but it's something you can fit into your locker at high school, or it's something if your teacher's yelling at you to like shut up about your acoustic guitar, you can like plug in your app with the MIDI guitar and and practice silently while while keeping things privately to yourself and like not annoying everyone else around you. Or like if you have like neighbors in your apartment and like they're sending noise complaints, it's very cool to like have this like thing that like you just like take out the it extends out to like make like the form where like it even has like even though it's like very like rigidly box shaped, it has like these things.
Shawn, I'm really sorry. Mission Control have just told me we need your question. Shawn, what is your question?
All right, my question. So my question is, what is your design philosophy that led to this sort of like what's your design philosophy that makes this so like different from like all the other MIDI guitars out there?
Yeah, thanks so much for the question, and thanks so much for all the nice words that you had to say. I guess our design philosophy is, this is gonna sound familiar, but it's really like we were trying to make it as minimalistic as possible, and also stick to just the main thing that you would want in this. We started with the idea of creating an instrument that you can carry with you everywhere you go. So we wanted it to be as portable as possible. We had a long conversations and with a large guitar community about how many frets you need on a portable guitar. How many frets is enough? Is 12 frets enough? Do you need 15? We arrived at 15 frets. We asked a lot when the 24 fret version is coming out, and a lot of people are going for 15 frets with the possibility to transpose real quickly is all you need for producing music. So our design philosophy is really start with small, to go in small increments and constantly rely on the feedback of the community. Back when we started, we didn't realize how much of a community-driven initiative creating this MIDI guitar will be. And we have since embraced the community aspect of it. And whenever we create our solutions, we rely heavily on the feedback from guitarists that see into the future and they know what the MIDI guitar should be.
Thank you so much, Shawn, for your very eloquent questions about Marco. And Marco, good luck. That completes our lineup of all 10 finalists. Judges, you guys are now free to deliberate. We will find out your results very, very shortly. Good luck, everyone.
Fantastic. And so we've also, Shawn has given us an exclusive performance as well. So let's go and see Shawn's performance.
Wasabi, that is incredible. You, sir, are awesome.
So now we're about to go to something really special that reminds us why music is important. Here's Athan from the MIDI Association to tell us more.
He's a clear leader.
Athan Billias, COO of the MIDI Association. Every year, the MIDI Association runs a donation drive called May is MIDI Month, raising money to improve services to our members. But this year, we decided to donate the money we raised to help people affected by COVID and started looking for the right organization to partner with. When old friend and LA studio legend Michael Boddicker introduced us to Raffi and his team from CMF, we knew we had the perfect match. The MIDI Association is committed not just to donating $18,000 to the Children's Music Fund, but more importantly, to work together to create telehealth music therapy programs using Midiable. Midiable combines web MIDI and video conferencing into a single platform for online music engagement. We are truly excited about what Children's Music Fund, MIDI, and Midiable can create together to allow music therapists to connect remotely with sick children in hospitals so they can enjoy the healing power of music.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Raffi Tachdjian, and I'm founder and president of the Children's Music Fund. Children's Music Fund, or CMF for short, is a 501c3 that I founded in 2001 when I was a resident at Massachusetts General Hospital. And while I was doing pediatrics, I ran into a phenomenally talented 15-year-old young boy named Justin, who was my patient, who inspired me to bring music into the hospital. And Justin passed away about 6 months later, but left this legacy and a torch that I carry, in that I want to make sure that through the organization we bring music therapy to children with chronic illness. And that is our mission. One of the great ways that we plan on expanding our reach is through the MIDI capacity in the musical instrument digital interface capacity. And it's with MIDI Association's help that we're able to get more children involved, more music therapists to connect with these kids, so that in the end, we're engaging every single child to help them overcome their pain, fear, and anxiety. So from the bottom of my heart and all of us at CMF, I say a huge thank you to all of you guys for making this happen and to continue collaborating with you in the future.
Hi everyone, Joe Lamont from NAMM here. I want to personally welcome you to Believe in Music Week. Now, one of the things I'm most excited about is our support and collaboration with the MIDI Association for the Children's Music Fund and their efforts to elevate and expand music therapy. Now, we know through NAMM-funded research over the decades the importance of music for young people, especially music therapy for those most in need. Now, we're grateful for the efforts of Athan Billias and Craig Anderton and our good friend Michael Boddicker and all the MIDI Association members for their efforts to make this generous donation possible. It aligns with everything we're doing with Believe in Music Week to make our world more musical. We believe in that, and we are so grateful for your efforts and being a part of it. Thank you.
So you read everything that's there.
Thank you for staying with us, folks. It's nearly time for our final performer and the results. Ooh. So if you've been inspired to learn how to build your own MIDI instrument or develop your skills and join the community of music hackers, here's a short overview of the music hack space.
So I'm thinking I'll take a course, enter the Innovation Awards next year, maybe win $20,000 worth of prizes.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Folks, we are literally moments away from finding out the winners. We are literally a few minutes away. But just before that, I am so excited about this. I've always wanted to say this. We are going to go live to New York City, where joining us right now is Mr. Dan Tepfer. Hello, Dan.
Hi, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
We're doing good. Thanks for being here. We are so grateful to have you. I know you've just finished a concert and you've put aside a few minutes for us. We're going to hand the reins over to you for a very special performance live from New York. Dan, take it away.
Thank you. This is a piece, an improvisation from my project Natural Machines with Yamaha Disc Clavier. This is called Constant Motion.
Wow.
Wow. Wow, Dan. Yeah, well, we're clapping. We're clapping out loud over here in the studio. That's incredible. I mean, I'm pretty gobsmacked, to be quite honest. Aside from the pure artistry and the skill of what you're doing, obviously this is the MIDI Innovation Awards, so I'm interested in digging into all the tech behind that. And there's clearly a veritable feast of technology there. So obviously, you're using a player piano. You're visualizing the notes as you're coming in. I'm assuming that you've got MIDI coming in from the notes you're playing, which is triggering the visuals. Can you tell us, what are you using to generate the visuals? Is it like jitter or processing or?
Yeah, so I like to say that in this project, Natural Machines, the code is just as handmade and just as home-baked as every note that I'm playing on the piano. And so it's all code that I've written myself. And actually, yeah, the visual stuff is written in processing.
I wondered if it was something like that. That's amazing. So how is it all hooked up? So I guess you've just got the MIDI coming out of the player piano into processing. Are you doing, because you're obviously triggering extra notes on the keyboard. Go ahead.
Yeah, so actually the basis of this project is not visual. The basis of this project is musical. And so most of the programs I have running are running in Super Collider, actually, which is an environment that I like to use to program music stuff. And so that's where the musical response is coming from. This is a Yamaha disc clavier. It basically acts like a MIDI instrument, which is pretty fantastic. You play something, it sends MIDI commands to your computer, and then you can do stuff with them in your computer. And then if you send MIDI commands to it, it will play them as notes on the piano. And so I have Super Collider making decisions about how to respond to what I play. And then I also am sending OSC commands from Super Collider to processing. And then I've written these other programs in processing that visualize the music in particular ways, depending on the algorithm. Actually, I'm trying in each algorithm to make the structure of the music, the structure of the algorithm, as apparent as possible in the visuals.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dan. I cannot tell you how much we appreciate your time. Live from New York City, Mr. Dan Tepfer.
Dan Tepfer.
Loving your work. Now, I bear exciting news, folks. The public vote is frozen. The judges have made their decisions. It is time to announce the results. Okay, we're going to start off with our public vote. Now, literally thousands and thousands of votes have come in for all 10 of our finalists, and the leaderboard has jumped around a lot. But it's been locked in, and the winner of our public vote is going to be blessed with many prizes. We're going to take a look at what the public vote winner is going to be receiving in just a moment, and then we will reveal the results. So good luck, everyone. I know you are standing by very nervously, but we are literally moments away from revealing the result. And then our judges, third place, second place, and first place. Remember, we've got over $20,000 worth of prizes. That's a lot. Which is madness at our 2021 MIDI Innovation Awards. So, let's do this. Let's reveal the winner. Should we reveal the winner of the public vote?
Let's reveal the winner of the public vote.
Let's do this. This is what you're going to win, by the way. Free workshops in the Music Hackspace, and thanks to Audiere, an everything bundle.
That's everything. Imagine everything.
You're going to win everything. But who is going to get it? That is my question.
Yes.
The public vote winner, Tim. Who is it?
So there have been, as we've said, there have been thousands and thousands of votes. They've been checked and double checked. And the winner is Krishna.
Krishna!
It's you! It's you!
We're gonna bring
Congratulations!
You congratulations! How do you feel?
Thank you, guys. Thanks so much. It's unbelievable. I want to thank the judges, the Music Hackspace, Media Association, NAM for putting this grand event in this time. Congrats to you. And I want to thank my coders, Eyal and Gal, my friends, Vivek and Nanda. So even though the problem that we solved using fluid pitch was rooted in Indian music, we believe we've solved a global problem, and the solution can be used by any keyboard players to play any style of music with more ease and confidence. So do check out pitchinnovations.com and download your free trial. Enjoy.
Well, congratulations, Krishna. Stay where you are, because you never know there are still third, second and first place, and the judges may have picked the same winner as our popular vote.
Well, yes.
You just never know.
Stranger things have happened at sea.
Listen, it's 2021. Anything can happen. Right, it's time to move on to our third, second and first place results. Now, our third place winner is going to get some awesome prizes. We're going to show you those in just a moment. And we're going to ask our judges to be announced in these. So 3 different judges will announce our third, second and first. Third prize winner is going to get all of this on screen, a full Max 8 license. You're going to get consulting from MIDI to marketing. This is amazing. This is a really high value package worth $2,500. But Tim, we're not going to tell them who's the winner of the third place. We are going to go over to Helen, our judge, who is standing by. Helen, who have you guys decided should be the third prize winner?
So the third prize has gone to someone whose creativity and community we really admired and loved. And I'm very happy to say that third place has gone to Leigh Davies with Playces. Da iawn, Leigh.
Congratulations, Leigh!
Well done, Leigh. We're going to hopefully see you now. Congratulations, my friend. You have won third place from our judge's choice. Thank you, Helen, for introducing. And Leigh, we're going to give you, we'll be restrict 30 seconds. Leigh, who do you want to thank?
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, firstly, thanks to the judges for just recognising what the project stands for. That means the world. You know, this project was about community, and that's obviously partly where your decisions come from, which is amazing. I want to thank my friends, my family, my co-workers, my partner Ashley, and extend a special thanks to my nearest and dearest friend Miles Warren, who in the early stages of this project just helped me dig into the dark depths of the code that made this project happen. So this is for all of those guys as well. So thank you so much. This means the world. Thank you. Amazing.
Fantastic.
We're thrilled for you, Leigh. Well
amazing.
Done. Third place. Well done, mate.
Congratulations. Great stuff. So now we're moving up. We're moving up the scoreboard, moving up the leaderboard, and it's now time for the second place Judges' Choice winner. And so this winner is going to receive all this bunch of swag.
$3,000 worth?
$3,000 worth. Expert Sleepers. I'm a fan of Expert Sleepers. I love their stuff. 1 year corporate membership for MIDI Association, free consulting with MIDI to marketing, and a full Max 8 license. I mean, I'd be pretty happy with that.
This is pretty awesome. Now, we're not going to announce the second place winner. We go live now to Shawn Wasabi. Shawn, no pressure. Who has won second place in the MIDI Innovation Awards 2021?
Hey, so us experts have decided that intonation, the physical relationship between like the different frequencies of the notes, is very much an important thing. And I would like to congratulate on our behalf Kevin Chang. You got second place. Congratulations. Plastic Pro.
Congratulations. Loving your work. Can we say hello? Can we go live via Zoom? Second place, $3,000 worth of prizes. Congratulations. We're just setting up the tech. Stand by. Bear with. We need to unmute. We are live. I'm amazed we've lasted 2 hours, if I'm honest here, but we're there. We're going to go live now via Zoom. Second place. Are we there? Can we see? Yes, we can. Hello.
Thank you very much. I got unmuted this time.
Yes, Kevin Chang got unmuted.
I'm honored to be able to share in this space, and of course, thanks to NAM and MIDI Hackspace and the MIDI Association and the judges. And I want to thank my wife and kids for supporting my endeavors, and my parents for encouraging me to love math and music. And thanks to the creative for the creative spark and new possibilities.
Well done. We are so pleased. Congratulations. Now, it's time for the grand prize winner. Let's have a look at what this winner is going to receive. If we call your name, you are going to get all of this. Our first place winner. So get ready, because you are going to be at the 2022 NAMM show in January 2022. You're going to get a booth. You're going to get a sponsorship package, 2 years corporate membership of MIDI. You're going to get consulting. This prize is worth over $12,500. This is unbelievable. We are so excited.
Serious.
But we're not going to announce the winner, are we, Tim?
We are not going to announce the winner, because that privilege goes to our head judge, Kate. So, Kate, it's over to you. Who did you pick?
Wow, this was so difficult. We have been arguing backstage the whole time. I've made some friends and I think maybe some enemies. It's been really hard, and I think all of us feel that all of the entries are amazing, and all the other entries that even didn't get into the top 10. It's the whole event and everything that this has stimulated, I think, has been incredible. We could not see the popular vote and how that was going. We did not know what that was until after we'd said what our decision was, and we had no idea what that would be. We didn't know whether we would be in tune with the rest of you. We didn't know whether we'd be in tune with any of them, but it seems like that we are all hitting perfect pitch, because the winner is Fluid Pitch. Congratulations.
Wow.
Yes!
Congratulations, Krishna. Congratulations, everyone, for picking the same winner.
Amazing. Krishna, I'm sure you've got some things you want to say, right?
I just want to thank everybody again, especially Eyal. I went to him with nothing but a great idea. And all we wanted to do was improve the any standard MIDI keyboard controller we all use. So sorry, I'm getting emotional. Thank you. Just thanks for everybody. And I'm looking forward to working with all you mentors and great people at Mark II team and all of you people. And let's take this thing forward and bring the power of scale lock pitch bending to every MIDI keyboard in the world.
Congratulations.
Fantastic, Krishna.
What a word. A round of applause.
Amazing.
Well done. We are so pleased for you. Very, very well deserved. All of our finalists have been incredible. You are all real innovators, and we cannot wait to see what you guys do next.
Indeed. And also to all our sponsors, thank you. You can see them all on screen here.
We're going to take a look at our sponsors. We are really grateful because it took so many people to make this happen. It wouldn't have been possible without our corporate sponsors. You've heard about a few of them already. We're going to give you a little name check because I think it's important that all the people that contributed, whether it was with prizes, whether it was with support, whether it was with help with this amazing venue, this wouldn't have happened without the sponsors' help. So I think from us, we're very, very grateful for that. And next year, maybe, hopefully, we'll be in NAMM.
Yeah.
We can do this in Anaheim.
We could have been in Anaheim. We could even have what are those things? What do you call them? Those things where you get all the sponsors up on the side of the stage. They can actually be here all the time.
We won't need to stay this distance apart.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be able to.
We can do high five and
it's
hug.
It's going to be a very special time. It really will be. This has been such an innovative event because what we've done is bring 10 finalists, 6 judges, 4 live performers all together in different rooms around the world.
It's amazing.
And it is amazing. And Tim, you've been very good as well, sir.
Oh, bless you. Well, spurred on by your good self.
Oh, we do our best, folks. We do our best. Of course we do. You know that. Also, all of our live performers as well. We have seen such a breadth of talent. We've seen, we've gone live around the world for this, and we are very grateful for that as well. So thank you to all of you guys as well. We are going to... What are we going to do, Control Room? Tell us what's now. Are we nearly at the sponsor slide? We're nearly... Oh, I know what we're going to do. We're going to check in on Endless.
Let's check in on the jam. Let's check in on the jam.
Bear with us. Don't leave us.
We're just cooking up some nice sponsorship slides for you so you can see.
What's been happening on Endless?
It's still going 10 to the dozen. There's so it tells me, it says just now for riffs that have been made in the last minute, and there's 4 riffs that have been made in the last minute. They're kind of smashing into this crazy techno jam right now.
And do you know what? We'll let people continue to join. We're going to thank our sponsors right now. Here they are. There are loads of you. We can't read them all out, but we are very, very grateful to all of you for sponsoring our event and making it happen. Thank you. We need to say thank you to our judges, our behind the scenes team. Thank you for all of your support in making this event happen. It's not been an easy feat in pandemic times. We are hoping we can do it live next year at NAMM 2022.
If you're watching this thinking I could do that or I would love to learn how to do that, you can register your interest now for the MIDI Innovation Awards 2022.
Ooh.
Just visit musichackspace.org/MIA 2022.
There it is at the bottom of the screen, musichackspace.org.
Go there.
MIA 2022.
Prepare your innovations.
You've
Prepare
got loads
to
of
share
time.
them with us.
You've got loads of time to do so. It's been an absolute pleasure keeping you company. We are going to give a little bit of a goodbye. Big wave from our finalists and our judges. Give us a wave, guys. We're going to give us a wave. Thank you. Look at them all. There they are.
Thank
You've
you.
all done
Congratulations.
amazingly well.
Wonderful work.
We applaud you. You are all
You're
incredible.
all awesome.
Innovators. Judges, give us a wave. Judges.
Thank you,
to you
judges.
guys. To you all, we can't wait to see you in real life as soon as we are allowed.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure keeping you company. That's it from us. Until next time, hopefully in person. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. Keep innovating.
And yeah, I just want to say, in my heart, you all won. You all won. But anyway, so to see us out, here's a little video performance from one of our sponsors.
Here's Washington.
Here's Washington.